What's good, gamers? Bloodolf941 here, and in today's video we're going to be going over the Exalted Truth hand cannon. Before we get too deep into the video, if y'all could click like and hit subscribe as well, that would be very, very cool. I put out a video once a week at noon Eastern time on Friday, and I'd really appreciate it if y'all would stick around for that, so thank you very much. Alright, so the Exalted Truth is a 140 RPM adaptive hand cannon in the energy slot that does void damage. It comes from Trials of Osiris, and let me tell you, Trials is not the slog it used to be for those who are just there for the loot. I'm sure you've seen the screenshots of the absolute fucking pinata that the lighthouse chest is now, or you've already been yourself a couple of times already, so like, I don't need to be the one to tell you that Trials is very rewarding. If you want to 100% optimize everything on this gun, I'd wait till another week where it's the adept weapon comes around, but it's honestly fine if you don't. The difference is really for the sweaties and the obsessed like me, so if you like it, fantastic. If not, don't worry about it. Now, this is a 140, so it's got some pretty strong competition. I've done videos about two other ones before, the Kept Confidence and Midnight Coup, and I will tell you right now that I prefer Kept Confidence significantly to the Exalted Truth. But that doesn't mean that this is a bad weapon. Far from it. This thing is great. Everybody's just got a 140 that they prefer over all the rest for various reasons and memories and whatever. In any event, I'm throwing it up against those two and the Adept Palindrome, the second Adept 140 available this season. Actually, this might be better as a direct comparison between the two Adept 140s. Because, like, they came out basically the same week, maybe a week apart. And, you know what? Fuck it. Full pivot. Alright, so Adept Palindrome and Adept Exalted Truth. Direct comparison between those two. Which one is better? Like with all my videos, this is just my opinion, which means it's objectively correct, and if you disagree, you are not only wrong, but you smell bad. Unfortunate. The Palindrome is Arc, Exalted Truth is Void. Both are legendary and have an Adept version, meaning Adept mods and stats, and they can be paired with an exotic in the kinetic slot. Half a point to the Palindrome for its backrisk synergy, since if you manage to stack the Arc, Surge, Radiant, and have max stacks of either Desperate Measures or Master of Arms, you will 2-tap to the head at all resiliences. Good luck stacking all that, but it is possible, so half a point off the bat. Or you could just get 2 crit kills, then reload with Mag Howl, but that's not unique to either weapon, and it doesn't use my favorite exotic, therefore it's lame. Alright, let's move on to how you get these weapons. Honestly, nuts on the table. Exalted is just easier to get if you're not comfortable with GMs, since the Trials rework, making it the better option just from pure convenience. If you're a PvE god, you can farm GMs with ease, and the conversation gets a bit more interesting, but assuming the least effort, Trials is easier to farm. You'll get multiple drops per trip to the lighthouse, assuming you get a full card there. There's a lot more that can rain from the sky. With the Palindrome, I think the most that you can get is 2 with each GM completion, at least as far as Adepts are concerned. I think you can get the normal one from lower tier Nightfalls, but we're going based off of the Adept version. Statistically, at the baseline, that's a point in Exalted's favor again. It's got better handling, better reload, better airborne effectiveness, and 1 extra shot in the mag. The extra aim assist on the Palindrome side is pretty nice though, and it helps you hit that 100 mark, which you can't do on Exalted without opening shot active and or Alacrity. There aren't any differences in barrel or mag perks. They both get access to accurized rounds and all 9 barrels, so that's a tie there, no big deal. Perks next. Exalted's Column 3 has Keep Away, Lone Wolf, Moving Target, Zen, and Slide Shot. All 5 of those are fantastic choices that do exactly what you want a perk on a hand cannon to do. More range, more accuracy, more stability. I personally do not care for Slide Shot, but I know it's a good perk for all the annoying sweaty players out there that are better than I am. All of those are really, really good. Column 4 has Eye of the Storm, Opening Shot, and Magnificent Howl. I honestly don't value Mag Howl all that much. I prefer hand cannons to perform best in the neutral while dueling, but if you can get it up and running to a certain point, you will 2-tap to the head. Exalted's got a few different roles that could get you to what would be a viable competitive option, if not your personal god role. It's a fantastic starting point of the two. For Palindrome, it's a bit rough. Elemental Capacitor, Outlaw, and To the Pain are fine. Look, To the Pain is removed on stowing the weapon, so it's half as valuable as it could be. Outlaw is boring, and I think you're only getting value out of EC with Void or Arc, limiting your build variety. Your build variety. Wow, that's a fucking word. I think you're only getting value out of EC with Void or Arc, limiting your build variety. Column 4 standouts are Mag Howl, Rolling Storm, kinda, Master of Arms, and Opening Shot. There seems to be much more of a focus on chain killing here, which I've said before that I do not prefer my hand cannons to be specialized into. I'm gonna have to give the perk comparison to Exalted again. It's another point in its favor. It's a better dueling option and boosts you without any kill requirements. Closing time would be nice if it had a base effect, but it's not Lone Wolf. And this isn't a weapon that you're fighting at 4 shots left with, so it's basically a non-existent perk unless you start dueling with 6 rounds left in the mag, and I don't want to do that. Origin traits, also in Exalted's favor. It's got Alacrity, One Quiet Moment, and Suros Synergy. Palindrome has Stunning Recovery, Vanguard's Vindication, and Wildcard. Which set do you think works best in the Crucible? Now, yeah, obviously the hand cannon that comes from endgame PvP should be better in PvP. This isn't a surprise or a complaint. I just don't think the adaptive frame really shines the best outside of the Crucible. 2-round bursts of 180s I think do pretty well, but 140s and 120s are for shooting Guardians, no matter the buffs they keep getting to encourage use against other aliens. Alright, now on to aesthetics. Neither of these have obstructive sights or bad muzzle flash. I dislike the shape the Palindrome is. Always have, always will. Castoid weapons all look weird, especially hand cannons. Plus the glows that Exalted Truth can get based on streaking and trials all rock, so that's another point in Exalted Truth's favor. This is seeming incredibly one-sided. Oh well. Now last, and most importantly, feel. My Exalted Truth has what is essentially my ideal dueling role. Keep away, Eye of the Storm. I've talked extensively about both those perks over the last year, but for those new to the channel or unaware, I think Keep Away is an uncontested S+ tier perk on 95% of weapons that can get it, and Eye of the Storm is one of the greatest dueling perks that put in serious work while under fire. My Adept Palindrome that I got has Closing Time, which is basically non-existent until I'm 5 shots deep, and Opening Shot, which I do not personally like on 140s. I know it has value, I know people enjoy it, but I want all 3 of my shots that kill somebody to feel the same. Opening Shot can get you the opening shot off, and that's great. That's really nice because like a lot of the times dueling is determined by who does the most damage first. But if you're playing at like the edge of range abilities, Opening Shot can get you full damage, and then your next 2 shots won't hit the head and you'll just drop the kill and you'll feel like shit. So, I don't value Opening Shot as much on 140s. I think it's a much better 120 hand cannon or special weapon perk, not for this kind of weapon. Now, I said all of that so you understand where I'm coming from when I say that the Palindrome just feels better. I don't know what it is or why, but it just feels incredible to shoot. There's got to be some extra under the hood tuning that we're not aware of, man. This is insane. I routinely drop kills on Exalted, and we'll get more into why later. But with the Palindrome, I would consistently drop back-to-back 40 kill games. It felt so good that I, a routinely double primary player, decided to use a fusion rifle in the Crucible for the first time in, I don't know, a year? Year and a half? I don't fucking know, man. Side note, fusions are stupid. What the actual fuck are these things, man? Look at these kills. What? Insane. I don't know what it is. But while dueling, in the neutral, this felt amazing. Even if Opening Shot was not active, or I missed my Opening Shot, I would still get away with murder with the Palindrome. It's crazy. It's sticky. It magnetizes to people's heads. 7 points of aim assist difference between my Palindrome and my Exalted Truth. 7 points. It cannot be that impactful. There's got to be something going on under the hood that we don't know about. Because goddamn, this thing is fucking great. Point is heavily in the Palindrome's favor, and because I am a vibes-based creator, this is like a 2-pointer. Now, I don't think it's going to be enough, because I haven't counted where these are sitting at yet, but this is heavily in the Palindrome's favor here. And now for the roundup. I graded these 2 weapons on acquisition, stats, perks, origin trait, aesthetics, and feel. And then I also gave the Palindrome an extra half a point for its back risk synergy, since it is arc. Surprising literally fucking nobody, the PvP reward is a better overall PvP tool. Who would have thunk it? 5 to 2.5. Now, I want to be clear, emphasis on overall. I still think I prefer using the Palindrome between the 2, just purely on the feel and how it performs for me since I got mine. But Exalted is easier to get, has better rolls, looks better, and has better stats. Like, it's just... It is objectively the better hand cannon. Yeah, the Palindrome feels great to me, but feels great to me does not mean it's objectively the best option. Despite how much more of a success using the Palindrome has been compared to Exalted Truth is just better. There's only one problem. Both of these guns have come out to a meta that's incredibly non-conducive to 1v1 gunfighting, especially in 6s. This thing, Rendrix's S-Stock, and what is seemingly an aspect that's designed purely to piss me off, Storm's Keep, both being incredibly prominent, means that you're most likely going to be fighting into a group, team-shotting from behind a wall, way down the lane, and well outside of the effective 140 range. The S-Stock is probably the strongest primary weapon in the game right now. If you want me to elaborate more, feel free to check out the video that I did on it, but like, I talked about it exclusively there. But it's so far and away beyond other primaries that no matter what, even though the Palindrome and the Exalted Truth are great, they don't shine compared to the S-Stock other than the fact that they're hand cannons, and this community just loves hand cannons, so, like, they get an inherent usage boost. If the S-Stock and/or Storm's Keep ever get reined in, the Exalted and the Palindrome are going to be the sweaty 140 hand cannon that hunters run over you with, since they can pair with Conditional Finality or Chaperone. Now, as a result, I normally say that until then, don't bother hunting for a good one. But like I mentioned way earlier in the video, Trials is good again, and the amount of effort required to get a good Exalted is not very high. So, honestly, just take your S-Stock, go to Trials, and try to focus some of those engrams that you're going to get. Like, it's that simple if you want to get a good one. It's very easy. Overall, the disparity between a good Palindrome and the average Exalted is not large enough to warrant spending so much time in GMs to try to get a good one to drop on the week that it's available. Get yourself an Exalted Truth, wait for the S-Stock to get reined in, and then have fun with probably the best 140 hand cannon in the game. In any event, that's gonna do it for me. What do you guys think? Do you prefer the Palindrome or the Exalted Truth? I'd love to hear what you think in those comments down below. Thank you for letting me try something new with these weapon videos. I do appreciate y'all sticking around and watching. I know this is gonna get the hand cannon bump, so it won't be indicative of anything too crazy, but, you know, this is my first attempt at doing a direct comparison instead of just, what's this gun like? So, yeah, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.
This is wonderful! Victory is all I ask. Good. You have advantage.